President-elect Trump, my friend, congratulations on being elected President of the United States of America. You are a great friend of Israel. Over the years, you've expressed your support consistently, and I deeply appreciate it. I look forward to working with you to advance security, prosperity, and peace. Israel is grateful for the broad support it enjoys among the American people, and I'm confident that the two of us, working closely together, will bring the great alliance between our two countries to even greater heights. May God bless America. May God bless Israel. May God bless our enduring alliance.
Well, that was Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offering his congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump. The two spoke by phone on Wednesday, with Trump inviting him to a meeting at the first opportunity. Jacob Eilon, anchor and managing editor of Israel's Channel 1, is here to discuss how the presidency will impact U.S.-Israeli relations. Jacob, for decades, you have been the evening news anchor in Israel. You have taken the country through wars, through presidents, through prime ministers. I want to ask you, what is the reaction in Israel to this election?
Well, first of all, it's good to be here, Reena. Well, we were surprised, like everybody else. We were reporting, my colleagues and myself, about the polls here in the States and how Hillary Clinton is about to win and so forth. So there was an initial shock. And then comes the question, okay, so what does it mean for Israel? What does it mean for the next, the future, next 4 years? And in Israel, everything is politics. All politics is local, right? So Israel is divided as much as America is divided these days, and it depends on your point of view. Some see an opportunity on the right side, some see it differently on the left side. So it depends on your point of view.
President Obama and Netanyahu did not have a very good relationship. It was pretty rocky, I think.
It's an understatement.
I remember one visit that he paid. He was pretty much iced out of the White House. He was left waiting, and it was actually during the time of the evening news in Israel, and everybody was going crazy wondering what happened. How different? Will Trump be very different from President Obama? Is there a way to gauge based on what you've heard?
Look, Trump just gave an interview to Israeli Daily Israel Today, and he spoke about the bond between Israel and the United States, and he said there that the parties in the Middle East should negotiate the deal themselves. This is exactly Netanyahu's narrative, saying, we're going to do it ourselves. Thank you very much for your help. In Middle Eastern codes, that means no pressure on Israel. Now, I can't tell what is Trump's policies towards the Middle East exactly. We haven't had any tangible policy so far. The question is whether the Trump administration will invest itself in the Middle East. It's a complicated business. I'm not sure that it's high there in the list of the Trump administration.
It was very high for President Obama, but unfortunately it didn't really go anywhere despite all the trying.
Right. Hillary Clinton at the time was invested in this. Secretary Kerry was invested in this. Nothing happened. Nothing really happened. So it's a complicated business, and I frankly at this point don't see the Trump administration diving into this, but who knows? We'll see.
I was mentioning how President Obama had iced out Netanyahu. It was over the issue of settlements. He was very upset that they had made an announcement that they were going to start building more settlements. Do you see that possibly as being something that the Trump administration will allow, the building of more settlements, and how could there be another intifada out of that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, but I don't have an answer, unfortunately. There are a lot of question marks here. There's the question of Iran. What's going to happen with this? I mean, this was a major part in Trump's campaign, right? The nuclear deal. Is he going to, change it, cancel it, whatever? A lot of question marks.
What's been the Israeli? I want to ask you about that, because a senior Saudi prince, Turki al-Faisal, who was a former intelligence official, he doesn't represent the official Saudi government, but he said Trump should not kill the Iran deal. What's the take in Israel on the Iran deal that has been pretty much 15 years almost in the making?
Right. Well, Israelis as a whole are anxious about this. I mean, nobody wants to see a nuclear Iran, that's for sure. I mean, there was a big argument of how to tackle this with the Americans. Obviously, the fact that Prime Minister Netanyahu came to Capitol Hill to give this speech and so forth, there was a big controversy in Israel about this. But if somebody here or elsewhere can find a way to make sure that Iran does not get nuclear, period, Israelis will be very happy to hear about that.
If you had a chance to sit down with Donald Trump today, what would you ask him about the Middle East?
Oh, well, I kind of know the questions, the answers in advance. You know, I'm going to ask him, are you going to invest yourself in this? Are you going to send somebody to, you know, start negotiations there? Or if you say, let the parties do this, how should they, and so forth? There are a lot of questions. I'm not seeing any answers right now. I'm not seeing, not yet.
We know his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has been very, very heavily involved in this campaign. His daughter, Ivanka, who's married to Jared, converted to Judaism. How influential do you see him in any sort of deal between Israel and the U.S. on any front?
Right. I know some Israelis see and some Israelis hope that he would be, you know, involved in Middle Eastern or Israeli policies. Again, I have no information about this. I don't know how it's going to play. We'll have to wait and see.
Jacob, Eilon, thank you very much for joining us.